Hello and welcome. My name is Gilbert Angana. I'm the CEO of Ascent Leadership Group. And what we do as Ascent Leadership Group is we equip and enable leaders to understand how to influence beyond positional authority. And we do this through coaching, we do this through teaching, research and consulting. And the whole idea is to be able to enable and equip the leaders to drive purposeful transformations in the spaces that they are at. Over the last 30 plus days, I've been just walking you through my upcoming book, Purposeful at Heart, and we're almost there, a few days to go. The book will be fully ready out. And I've been sharing some quotes, some ideas, some thoughts that are around that book that are available to any leader in any space. The last two episodes, I've been sharing around the foundation of the book, which is Purposeful Leadership, and how it compares to other traditional and purpose-driven leadership. And we talked about the heart of purposeful leadership is the heart of the leader. And it talks about the heart of love, the heart of value, and the heart of belief, which is very critical. And then we also explored the dynamics around the challenges for that leadership face. But at the end of it, we say that the critical component is the fact that for leaders to build thriving teams, and their behaviors are at the center of all the aspects. And this is very, very critical because we all know, and in many spaces and from research, that people don't quit organizations. People actually quit leaders. And this is a fundamental discussion around organizations, that when you have high attrition, chances are that people are quitting leaders in the organizations, and they are not quitting the organization as a whole. So if behaviors are the center of any leadership engagement, or any engagement that will drive purposeful transformation or high productivity, then if you ask yourself as a leader, if I add skills, if I add competencies, and I do not shift in my behavior, then what is the effect? The effect is actually null, because you might add all these skills and competencies, but if you do not shift and transform your behavior in line with what your constituents actually need or want or desire, then higher chances that you're not driving high engagement and high productivity in your team, and you're not actually leading thriving, you'll not be able to lead thriving teams, and of course then the organization will suffer. And that's the gist of why love is at the center of it. And in fact, there's a saying that was shared that if you don't love people, then what you're doing is you're manipulating them. You're manipulating your people if you don't love them. And this is where many of us as leaders find ourselves in, that we are driving our teams, we are pushing them to deliver. Some of them we are summoning them, we are walking them through some different rigorous processes that lead sometimes to exit. And at the end of the day, when we look at that cycle goes back over and over again. Why? Because we are not loving our people, we are manipulating them. And I dare say here that successful transformation in any space as a leader requires you as a leader to embrace the emotional journeys of the people that you're leading. And I say that successful transformation is a component of three things. One is the aspect of the leader creating an emotional supportive environment. The right environment for emotional strength of everyone within the team. And number two is for you to have a compelling rationale that will be able to drive the team forward. And of course, number three is to walk the journey in terms of providing emotional support to your team. And that's what is at the center. At the center of thriving teams is your heart as a leader. And the first critical component is your heart of love. And that's why when I talk about purposeful at heart in the book, I talk about the aspect of purposeful leaders. Purposeful leaders actually understand that people need to be loved unconditionally. And this is the center of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because if you don't love people unconditional, then you're not honoring diversity. then you're not providing an equitable environment, and you're not including others in the table to discuss and forge forward. So love in organizations is critical. Love in leadership is critical. How do you execute love? I want to share quickly 4 things that are very critical. When you're talking about love in a leadership angle, what are we talking about? You're talking about you being interested in people. You're talking about you accommodating constructive feedback. You're talking about you investing in people. And you're talking about you preparing people to succeed. And these are the 4 paradigms in terms of love from a leadership perspective. And if you're able to put this into practice, then you'll be able to see the changes that are coming out in your team in terms of thriving teams. So let's talk about love in organizations. Let's talk about love in leadership. And let's drive these components. I hope you'll be able to grab a copy of my book when it comes out in the next few days, Purposeful at Heart. And I've been able to explain these things in details with case study examples. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode, and I'll be talking about value. Thank you.